I want to take this opportunity to express my appreciation for the hundreds of thousands of messages, nearly 800,000 in all, which my children and I have received over the past few weeks.
The former First Lady 50 years ago today on television, making her first public statement since the assassination of the president. Today, for the first time, the Kennedy Library opened the files of condolence letters for Mrs. Kennedy's personal papers. Anthony Mason picked out a few to show us tonight.
44 boxes of letters, some 7,000 in all, were kept in Mrs. Kennedy's personal collection.
Whenever I can bear to, I read them.
They came from ordinary people all over the world. An Italian sculptor sent a photo of a bust he'd made of the president. A California artist sent a painting of the funeral cortege. Boy Scout Explorer Post 187 offered to help you move into your new apartment when you come here to the city of New York in the fall. Mrs. Kennedy is deeply touched, her secretary Nancy Tuckerman wrote back, declining the thoughtful offer. The president's widow saved many letters from children. This one from 10-year-old Bridget Hebert of Lake Charles, Louisiana. I guess you haven't got over the shock of your husband's death, because I haven't either, she wrote. Come over to our house, if you can, to rest. 13-year-old Bob Thorne felt partly responsible for the tragedy. It was kind of my fault, he said, revealing he'd received a C in American history at school. After this tragic loss, I realized that I could do plenty to help my country. Next term, I promise you, I'll get an A. This envelope from Maxine McNair in Alabama was marked VIP. Mrs. McNair's daughter Denise and 3 other girls had been killed 5 months earlier in the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. May I commend you for your wonderful display of courage, she wrote. Isn't it strange how people with so much to give to the world are taken?
The knowledge of the affection in which my husband was held by all of you has sustained me.
Mrs. Kennedy made certain all these letters were answered by her personal secretaries and saved as an archive of a nation's grief. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
And that's the CBS Evening News for tonight.